That's coming soon, just to give a little ode to those that work what we call frontline, those people that were there for us, as well as those that were screwed. Callie's is going to be there to show y'all how much they appreciate you. Check them out, Callie's.com, Callie'sCannabis.com, shop Callie's. All right, question is, let's say you had a long day. Maybe you had a cocktail in the nest before you went home. What's that stonerism snack that you can't go without, always in the refrigerator or pantry, that you love to just munch on before you go to bed?
Whew.
That's a tough one. Well, I would say during the pandemic, I definitely up-leveled my relationship with ice cream. For sure. There's this brand of ice cream, I think it comes from Ohio, called Grater's. And they have this blackberry, I think it's called blackberry chip.
Ooh.
It was a little bit of a problem.
Slaps.
I had to check myself into a support group afterwards.
You put on the COVID-19, you're
Exactly.
like, all right, or me and dairy. I know that feeling.
I'm still working on it.
Hey, welcome to the club. I get it. At least you're in the right place. There's something for you here. You can always work out.
For sure. Gravity House kicks my ass every day as I try to work it off.
All right, good luck beating ice cream. You're not
I just have to say this while we're talking about ice cream and local spots. Have you ever had the blueberry pancake batter ice cream from Sweet Cow?
What?
No.
Oh, lose myself in a tub of that. Tell you what.
So
sounds
I'll toss you. I got you on the munchie thing. So Kelly makes these amazing, it's like a chocolate-covered peanut butter Oreo. Did I kind of describe that right? If you really want to know all my deep, dirty secrets. Yeah.
It's a family recipe, but it's a Ritz cracker. It's very fancy. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah.
Ritz cracker, peanut butter, dipped in chocolate.
Dude.
Mm-hmm. That's my late night.
Yeah,
that is like
crazy
the
town.
most stonerism snack
Oh,
I've
because
ever
you
heard,
have
and I'm for
salt.
it.
You have all your texture. So I'm a texture person and like a salt, sugar.
Salt,
You need
sweet.
that
I want all those things. So I've got the peanut butter for the salt, crunch from the cracker, and the chocolate.
It's so good.
I mean, okay, and so I would be remiss if I didn't ask, do y'all consume cannabis?
Regularly.
Of course, sir.
What is y'all's preferred way to ingest THC?
I like the flower because I'm a rituals gal. I love like to smoke a joint. I feel really cool.
That's why I picked up cigarettes at such a young age. 11 to 15 was those formidable years.
So cool.
It depends on the context, right tool for the right job, Like if it's more of a hangout social thing, it's great to sit and pass a joint back and forth.
So smoking joints by myself that's not acceptable?
We don't shame here. We
don't judge.
Like social party for one? Or?
The only judgment is that you didn't invite me.
Like, you didn't invite me? You just took that whole thing to the dome? You're like, sorry, Charlie.
Love the convenience of the vape pen.
Right?
He does.
And then, and then, I feel like they're really getting somewhere with edibles. Like they're much more consistent. They take on quicker. So those are, I hadn't really been using edibles very much, but now I'm starting to because I think they're really getting the science part of it right.
It's no longer, we're not in that, 30 to 45 minutes later, and then
Exactly.
you're like you're doubling down, which is like the horror story of every tourist that comes to visit. You can find those folks that it's 15 minutes, and it's like, you will have this exact feeling. You're like, holy shit, here it is at 13 minutes. Like, it's even picking up pace.
Yeah.
I agree with you. The science has gotten better, but I follow on both suits. Flowers, great for any time, but when you're either in the car, maybe about to walk into a restaurant, maybe you're in the airplane bathroom, the vape pen is the play as well. Mm-hmm. Preferred cannabis spot y'all like to shop at? Y'all have a place y'all want to shout out?
Do you, Cal?
You don't have to say
Sure.
You don't have to say our sponsor. You can say whomever.
Sure. I have two. I'm a woman. I'm a simple woman of convenience.
I feel like that's usually
So there's two spots because I live in the Highlands. I like to go to the Joint on 38th.
Uh-huh.
Just because they're very patient with me.
Right at the Sprouts?
Yes.
Yeah,
and I like to ask, questions, and they really entertain that. So I appreciate that, and they're just fun. And then I like Native Roots. I like those guys.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I went there last night.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah. I went to Native Roots on Colorado Boulevard. I also really like the guys at Live Well. There's one near me on Broadway, kind of Alameda-ish.
Okay, yeah.
They have a really good loyalty program. The bud tenders are really nice. So I like it there, too.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. So if y'all are in those neighborhoods, you got 2 people that vouch for them and they're regular consumers. So like you said, patience and having great bud tenders are probably, that's what will keep you coming back. They'll answer questions for you. They're not like rolling their eyes when you want to see a third flower. That's nice. So shout out to those guys. I like where your head's at. Last question of the night, and then y'all can go back to y'all's day. It's called The Last Supper.
Oh, boy.
You get 3 people to join you for dinner, dead or alive, and you get to pick the meal. Who are we having, and what are we eating? Kelly, you go first.
Oh, boy. Okay, this is really telling, okay? Don't try not to judge, but you're just going to... You're 100% going to... No, judge the shit out of this, but you're really going to see me, okay?
That's what it's for.
Okay. The first one. You know this, Peter. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I love Steve Tyler from Aerosmith.
Oh, wow.
Janie's Got a Gun. You guys don't know what's coming, okay?
Is that your,
but the Big Ones album growing up was like, I was just coming into my Kelly Campbell, 7 years old, loving an elevator. Like, you kidding me? Mm-hmm. Really good stuff. So I love him. And he plays 2 of my favorite instruments, the harmonica and the piano. So there's that. And he's got range. He's got range. I just love him. I'd say keep that between the 3 of us and however many thousand people are listening, perhaps.
Yep.
That, okay. David White. I love philosophy and poetry. And he's an incredible, Irish poet. My favorite poems start close in. I listen to it probably weekly. And so David White would have to be there. And saving the best for last is my secret lover. Her name's Raquel Jones. She's from Thievery Corp, this incredible Jamaican artist. I don't know where her legs stop and start, and she is heaven on earth. So Raquel would have to be there. Raquel, Steve Tyler, and David White.
Hey, I like it.
All right.
I don't think we've had any of those 3 ever named. So like when I kind of preface the usual hits, I love hearing 3 that we don't ever hear. And so what are we going to have for supper that evening?
Like I said, I'm a simple gal. I like to take really simple but high quality ingredients and let those ingredients shine. This is hard for me because I like to eat.
Ditto.
I like that table would be full of
it's the last
fresh,
to your heart's
and don't make fun of me, but it's the things that I enjoy. But a lot of fresh vegetables. I love fresh baked bread. There's nothing better than a warm sourdough and really good butter and a proper, salt on there. I'm really going to get into this now. Mm-hmm. No, but yeah, I'm a simple.
I respect
a simple gal.
We're a very pro-bread podcast, so anyone that likes fresh bread is good in our book.
Yeah.
It can just be bread and butter with a little malt and salt on
No,
top.
that's all you really need, a glass of wine, cocktail, and most importantly, there would be chocolate. Lots of chocolate.
Just play the hits. Breads, veggies, chocolate.
See, that's all I really need.
Yeah, that's her pyramid. That's what it is. It's vegetables, bread, chocolate at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
Hey, I respect it.
All right, final answer.
Hey, Peter, that was a pretty tough one to beat, but we'll see what you got. Do you have 3 in
Peter and his mic drop move. Just wait for it.
I'm also a big music fan.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about I'm a big fan of the Grateful Dead.
Nice.
I would love to be able to sit and have a conversation with Jerry Garcia. I think that would be, he had a great philosophy that you can see throughout their music was he just wanted everybody to have fun. And that really shaped how the Dead approached their careers and how they approached navigating the music industry. It wasn't necessarily conventional, and it was all just rooted in don't muck with the magic and just let people have a good time. And I would just love to have a night talking to him and hearing stories and all that. I think it'd be amazing. I'd also love to talk to Leonardo da Vinci.
I thought you were going to say Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, where is this going, really? My first...
I mean, he would be cool to talk to.
That's when I discovered
also.
boys, Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, oh, wow.
So we're, Kelly and I...
nipples.
Exactly.
Just Leonardo, like just the intersection of just art and science and just really figuring shit out before, and the kind of stuff that he came up with before, helicopters and like all this stuff before, the modern age just would be fascinating. And I think, Kelly, I might actually pilfer one from that's probably more on your list, truthfully, is Sam Harris.
Oh, Sam Harris.
Sam
That's
Harris
such a good one. You have to, I would suggest that you explore Sam Harris.
Yeah.
Philosopher and neuroscientist, incredible.
Yeah, and Sam's really just kind of on the forefront.
Is that supposed to be like a household name?
Yeah, Sam
Y'all
Harris
just made it sound like, you don't know Sam?
He's a living legend for sure.
We won't pop culture shame you. We don't do that here at Nurture.
I was just like, excuse me? I thought this was like, I didn't know who it was.
But fellow podcaster.
Yeah.
Damn it, Kip, you're so behind.
Yeah, just really on the forefront of everything from, the power of psychedelics and just, kind of reframing how people think about thinking, really.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be really cool. And I think for the food piece, we were talking before about cooking your own steaks. I like to cook steaks. I would probably just do like, just really high-end steaks and just with like sauteed spinach and mushrooms and potatoes and just have a really good like.
Ooh, I know what dessert
basic
is.
Meal. What would be dessert?
Banana cream pie.
Yes, she knows me so well. She knows me so well.
Is there someone that needs to make it? Is it like a grandmother that did it for you growing up, or a specific place that had one that just knocked your socks off?
There's a place in New York
spot
called Magnolia Bakery that has really dope banana cream pie. Or banana pudding, I should say.
Okay. Oh, not a southern. No, see, that's a southern thing. So
yeah, banana
could be
pudding.
fighting words.
Yeah. And there's a couple places in town that have really good banana pudding, so that would be featured in there for sure. If it wasn't one of our delicious cakes from Nest.
There you go.
That what a seamless plug.
I know, right?
No one saw that coming.
Well, we do have a new person in the kitchen that's just a insane baker
Dynamo?
who's just making these amazing, and they're still vegan and gluten free, and they're so good. Cake of the Month Club subscription at Nurture and Nest is
I get my daily slice.
Yeah.
I'm wearing that for you guys today.
So I think those would be my three people in food.
Fuck yeah. Well, y'all made it to the end. I think you're staying around for round 2 because you just teased a little bit of our next episode, part 2 of Nurture Week. We're going to be talking with the culinary team and talking a little bit more about the food that y'all have here at Nurture. So I want to thank y'all so much for joining us, not only for part 1, but also kind of giving us the history and, how the Granola Palace came to be. So thank y'all so much for joining us.
Thank you.
For our listeners, stay tuned. Part 2 that drops on Thursday, we'll have more about Nurture and the dank cuisines, and I think it's all pretty, like you mentioned, there's a lot of gluten-free and vegetarian food forward, so get ready. It's going to be an experience. Let's tee off, but thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kip. Appreciate it.
Until next week, stay hungry, stay thirsty. Damn it, it's not next week, it's Thursday.